Libras, there will be a crumbling of order. You guys go together, but you actually go together too. You go in an order. We first get the Hierophant, which is everything working perfectly as you want it to be working. Systems, everything's clicking in the right place, the cogs are turning, the wheels are turning. You know, there might be people or creatures stuck in between the wheels and getting crushed in the process. I don't know why I said that. I know why I said that. But everything is working perfectly. And then the Tower happens. You thought that it was working properly, but this house isn't built on safe ground. This is crumbling when the next storm hits, and the storm has definitely hit. And it doesn't feel like even the storm hits, it feels like suddenly, out of nowhere, there is a lightning storm above your heads, and that's it. And it crushes you guys. I don't like doing these kinds of readings myself, by the way. I sincerely apologize, but it's not going to be easy coming out of this one. For a solid moment, it will just suck. It will be horrible. The Tower, you know, is a striking epiphany, sure. You know, the Tower can be a very striking good epiphany, but I've never found the Tower moment to be enjoyable. It's always uncomfortable, and in this case it feels like with these two together, you guys won't be enjoying this process. You guys won't be enjoying this Hierophant being suddenly overshadowed by the Tower moment. I don't want to say these words. There might be a job loss for you. There might be a sudden divorce for you. There might be a sudden friendship collapsing for you. You might be suddenly realizing that you're in a relationship with somebody who is not actually good for you. And, you know, it had worked so well and it was going so well and you were thinking it was so well, but it's not. It wasn't actually so well. And the moment you realize that is going to be a Tower moment for you. And it's going to come out of nowhere. Like this. A tarot reader I like to watch a lot, it's called Gemstone Tarot, does a general motion of shwing for the Ace of Swords. That's that. The Tower moment's gonna come in like an Ace of Swords, like a sudden epiphany of, oh god, oh no. Anything but that. And I'm sorry you guys, this one's gonna be tough. And what it's leading to you towards is also a period of reflection. It feels like, I don't know why I'm getting this particular feeling. This is the extra card in this deck that I don't particularly see a lot. Previously for this month's readings, I think only Gemini had it, and before the Gemini got this card, I also only saw it maybe 4 times throughout my many, many readings with this deck. This time it reminds me of, in here on this end of the world, there are a lot of old land properties that have just been left. And a lot of those old land properties are actually old USSR kolkhoz properties where there was agriculture there was some vegetables or fruit being grown there, maybe horses kept there, cattle kept there, whatever. And, you know, once the USSR collapsed, a lot of those properties just sort of got left. Or maybe somebody did end up owning them, but didn't end up doing anything with them. They moved to the city and they were just left to their own devices, whatever. But you can find those occasionally where you're just driving across a highway road and, you know, different fields of different crops, animals grazing, whatever, and then there's just a small field, usually it's not too big, but there's a field of old, left to their own devices, apple orchards. Orchards probably. Do leave that in the comments because English is not my first language and some words still confuse me. This feels like those old apple orchards that have been left to their own devices, and sometimes, you know, previously they were being taken care of, so they were cut in certain ways, they were taken care of so that none of the sicknesses get to them, none of the rot gets to them, no bugs. You know, they were being taken care of as one would when they're actually like something that is yours and, you know, that you're watching bear fruit. And in this case, it feels like you are walking through your own abandoned orchard. The thing with apple orchards is, though, that even if you don't take care of them, sure, there will be trees that don't survive, or there will be trees that get sick and don't produce as many fruit, or they get sick and they produce really messed up fruit. But there are so many trees that just turn into, I'm just an apple tree and I just grow here. And it feels like that. It feels like you returning to a forgotten orchard, your forgotten orchard, assessing the fact that you have not been paying attention to it for a very, very long time. And assessing the damage and realizing that there are some trees that can't be saved anymore. There are some trees that are racked with sickness that you might be able to save. And there are some trees that are actually still amazingly healthy and perhaps even healthier than they ever were before. You know, there's layers and layers of old apples just, you know, turning into some really great, you know, healthy dirt for the trees. But the leftover rot is still there, but the tree is healthy and has grown just fine. But not all of them have. Whatever situation you had the illusion of being perfectly ordered and perfectly structured that was actually not, and that collapsed in a single moment of epiphany, you will go through afterwards a feeling of evaluating what do you actually have and what you have left behind. And this will be a hefty moving on. This feels like you won't be sticking around that. Whatever it is that you had an epiphany about, the Tower, Ace of Swords moment for, you won't be sitting around and seeing what's happening afterwards. You will be leaving. These are all three go together. The Six of Cups, the Six of Swords, and the Eight of Wands, they all go together. You are moving on both emotionally and intellectually. In this case, I mean, like, if it is a job, if it is or a relationship, or a family situation, or a friendship situation, whatever, you will be moving on from that quite swiftly. You know, in this case, I do say borrow some of that Queen of Swords energy and be very, very decisive about it. We also, for you guys, we have the Two of Pentacles, so I think the Two of Pentacles might come out of this orchard. Evaluating what you still have left in the old abandoned orchard will bring you an idea for a Two of Pentacles moment for you guys. Some kind of a hustle, side job, side business. If it is you leaving a job that's been absolutely destroying you guys previously. And I mean, Libras, I don't know, in my personal experiences, Libras can have that moment where they realize everything has been actually a mess. I need to go and do something else. And you guys, if it is a job for you guys that you realize has actually been horrible for you, then you need to leave. from just traveling the old abandoned orchard, you can discover this. You can discover the potential for the hustle, for the balancing act, for the weird thing that other people don't do, or something else that lets you leave your job, leave the situation you're in, and do something else. Do something else that perhaps you haven't done a lot of juggling before, so the juggling might be quite awkward at first, but, you know, it's kind of like riding a bicycle. Once you learn it, you can't really forget it. Or I think it's really hard to forget it, at least. I do also have a Knight of Pentacles here, and I do want to pull a clarifier for that, from right away. Well, actually both Rider-Waite and Druidcraft. Let's see Rider-Waite first. It feels like this might be somebody. I may be wrong, but it feels like it might be somebody. The Knight of Pentacles. Let's see. Oh, you. Oh, yes, that is somebody. The Lovers used to be called a choice. So for some of you, it might not be a somebody. For some of you, it might be an after everything falls apart. Not everything, but something falls apart. Being dramatic, everything falls apart. There might be a choice for you to what to continue to do. You're not going to stay with what was, you know, so bad for you earlier. You're definitely not going to stay. You're moving on from that, you know, in all the ways. But there might be a choice between what to do afterwards. You know, perhaps you have multiple choices on what goes into the juggling act. But I feel like also for some of you, this will be a new person. You have the potential of finding somebody new, somebody who perhaps is there for you as a stable force, as somebody who is the calm during the storm. There is a storm and your ship is being all tossed about and you fall into the water and it's all bad, but you find something to cling on to that prevents you from drowning. This person. Perhaps it's someone new. I think it might be someone new. Perhaps it's someone old. But they will be there for you. They will be that balancing act for you. And I think it's most probably going to be something romantic, though. For most of you, it will be. No. It is going to be something romantic. I did want to also pull a card from the Druidcraft Tarot deck, and we got the Two of Cups. Yeah, guys. From all of this, there will be a meeting with somebody new. Perhaps literally just after having your tower moment, going out for some drinks with friends, or, you know, occasionally, I think everybody comes to a moment in their lives where they have to go out to a bar and drink alone. It happens to the best of us. You have the potential of just sharing a drink with somebody who is going to be something more for you. Two of Cups, the Lovers, and the Knight of Pentacles. Somebody who's a stabilizing force. And I feel kind of like a Virgo energy here. I'm not sure why. I'm not really the astrologer reader, so this is a rarity for me as well. A romance angel card for you guys. I wanted to draw the regular angel oracle that I have, but I feel like a romance angel this time. No, you. I think it kind of feels like a rebound energy, but it's not. Perhaps it is actually for some of you who have that tower moment about their relationships. Look, it might be a rebound, but it's going to be good for you. Nobody's going to be left to the offended party in this case, I think. It doesn't definitely feel like it. I think you guys need to let yourself to enjoy the company of other people, or perhaps just literally someone else who can let you forget about the whole thing, they're gonna help you recover from the Tower moment. They're gonna help you, you know, I think they're gonna be there for you in the moment, but before you go into the Orchard. The Orchard's gonna happen after you meet somebody that is gonna be there just to help you deal with all of that. You know, somebody who's gonna listen to your problems, and somebody who's just gonna be there just for some fun. I like the regular Oracle card as well, actually. You see, the sun is rising for you guys. Yeah, that saying about the darkest moment of the night being right before the sun rises, this is what it is for you guys. But the sun is rising. And it's going to be glorious. And it's going to be beautiful. It might bring a tear to your eye. But the night is the darkest before the sun rises. You have to remember that. It's not going to be sunshine and daisies. The Tower is going to hurt, but you guys are going to come out of it just fine. You know, perhaps with somebody even there sticking along with you, not just for the moment of dealing with it, but in the long run. Then, you know, maybe just something new. Also plan-wise. Something new business-wise. Something new personality development-wise. Maybe you're going to find some new hobbies. You know, rediscover who you actually are.